Ideal and non-ideal solution over. And non-ideal solutions are further classified into how many types? Two types. Non-ideal solution showing positive deviation and non-ideal solution showing negative deviation. Okay. So next, have written differences. Differences between ideal and non-ideal. Differences between non-ideal showing positive and negative also over, no? Okay. Next, right, graphical representation of ideal and non-ideal solution. Written. Graphical representation. Graphical representation of ideal and non-ideal solution. Let us see first is ideal solution. What are ideal solution? The solution which obey Raoult's law. Therefore, draw the graph for Raoult's law. That is nothing but ideal solution. Okay. And tell me, for ideal solution, let us take on x-axis mole fraction. Mole fraction on x-axis. It is XA equal to 0 here. Here XA equal to 1 because the mole fraction increases, it become 1 here. If XA equal to 1, what is XB equal to here? 1. Here XB equal to B 0. That is because sum of the mole fraction of all the component equal to 1. Okay. Now let us take, now here we know that PA is directly proportional to XA and PB is directly proportional to XB. Right. Now when XA value 0 here, it means XA value goes on increases, it become 1. So therefore, let us take the partial vapor pressure of component A, PA, on y axis. So here let us take PB, partial vapor pressure of component B. Okay. Now tell me, so XA is directly proportional to what? PA. Therefore, when XA increases, PA is increases. Next here, XA equal to 1. When XA equal to 1, this point is called P naught A. Because when XA equal to 1, then PA equal to P naught A. Similarly, when XB equal to 1, so PB equal to P naught B. Okay. Next, now here similarly XB here 0, XB directly proportional to PB. So when XB increases, PB increases. Therefore, XB is directly proportional to PB, like this. Now here, where XB equal to 1, when XB equal to 1, PB equal to P naught B. At this point is called P naught B. Okay, by combining these two, we will get what? P total. Okay, so this line represents, it is PA equal to, take down, XA into P naught A. This line indicates PB equal to XB into P naught B. Okay, it is for ideal solution. Next, non-ideal solution. So non-ideal solution further classified into two types. One, non-ideal solutions showing positive deviation. Deviation from Raoult's law. And tell me, non-ideal solution showing positive deviation from Raoult's law. What is the graphical representation? So again it is same. Take it is similar to ideal solution. XA equal to 0, XA equal to 1, XB equal to 1, XB equal to 0. On y axis, let us take PB here, partial vapor pressure of component B, here partial vapor pressure of component A. Next, similarly, XA is directly proportional to PA. Therefore, if it is ideal solution, you will get similar here. It is a PA equal to XA into P naught A. Next here, this is for PB equal to XB into P naught B. It is a P total. P total equal to PA plus PB. It is for ideal solution, but we are studying what? Positive deviation. And tell me, in positive deviation, what happened? Vapor pressure. The vapor pressure of solution is greater than the vapor pressure determined by Raoult's law or less than the vapor pressure determined by Raoult's law? It is greater than, right? So therefore, in positive deviation, the vapor pressure of solution must be greater. So therefore, since vapor pressure is more, it will be like this. In positive deviation, the vapor pressure comes like this. Okay. So this dotted line indicates positive deviation. If it is negative deviation, so if it is negative deviation, it will be same. I will write here this only negative deviation. For negative deviation, it is an ideal solution, but in negative deviation, the vapor pressure of the solution is less. Vapor pressure of solution decreases. Since vapor pressure of the solution decreases, you will get the dotted line downwards like this. It is negative deviation. All the things are same. Finish? Take one question. The vapor pressure of pure liquids A and B, the vapor pressure of pure liquids A and B are 450 mm of mercury, 700 mm of mercury respectively. Find the composition of liquid. Find the composition of liquid mixture and also vapor phase and also in vapor phase. We'll stop. Given that the total vapor pressure of solution is 600 mm of mercury. Given that the total vapor pressure of solution is 600 mm of mercury. Okay, listen. So here there are two liquids A and B. Then what is the vapor pressure of pure liquid A? So P naught equal to 450 mm of mercury. The vapor pressure of liquid A, and the vapor pressure of pure liquid B, P naught B equal to 700 mm of mercury respectively. Next, the total pressure of the solution, it is a P total, is given 600 mm of mercury. Can you tell me? The partial pressure of A and B is given 450, 700, and total pressure is given. Now this, when A, B is mixed, whether it is ideal or non-ideal solution. When A and B are mixed, whether it gives ideal solution or non-ideal solution. If it is an ideal solution, the sum of the PA, P naught A, P naught B should be equals to P total, right? It is not. So therefore it is a non-ideal solution. It is a non-ideal, but which kind of non-ideal? Positive or negative deviation? So in positive deviation, the total pressure must be greater than the sum of the vapor pressure of 1 and 2. It is a 700, it is a 450. So it is actually what supposed to get? 1000, 1150, no, but what is given here? 600. Therefore the total vapor pressure of the solution is less than the sum of the vapor pressure of these two components. That means it is a negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, right, all right. That, but our question is not that. If they ask question what is the deviation, you can say it is a negative deviation, fine. But we need to calculate mole fraction of the component in liquid state, that is a XA and XB, question mark, and mole fraction of the component in even vapor phase, YA and YB has to calculate. Now tell me, if the total pressure of the solution is given, we have direct formula, it is application of Raoult's law and Dalton's law. So what is the application of Raoult's law in Dalton's law? P total is equals to X A into P naught 1 or P naught A minus P naught B plus P naught B, directly can write. So P total given, do it all of you, 600 equal to XA, we have to calculate into P naught A. So P naught A equal to, it is, no, you should take it higher, yeah, higher vapor pressure, no, it is, take higher minus lower is the 450, right? Tell me, it become XB. Okay, it become XB आगुते, fine. Then plus P naught B. So P naught B equal to P naught, it become, again आगुते change माडबायदु. Okay, XB into this is P naught B minus, okay, P naught A, P naught B, right. Plus P naught B equal to 450, no? Okay. Then calculate XB. Then once you calculate XB, 1 minus XA or 1 minus XB equal to what? XA. Zero point XB equal to 0.6, 0.6, and next XA equal to 0.4. So this is the mole fraction of the component in liquid state. Okay. Next, there is another question. So calculate the mole fraction of the component in vapor phase. So how do you calculate? Yeah, calculation of composition of liquids in vapor phase, right? So calculation of composition of the liquid in vapor phase. So in vapor phase, the mole fraction of A equal to Pa by Pa plus Pb, then Yb equal to Pb by Pa plus Pb. So this is also application of Dalton's law of partial pressure. Then to calculate Ya, we need to calculate first Pa. Pa is not there. So therefore calculate first Pa. Pa equal to, according to Raoult's law, XA into P naught A, right? Pb equal to XB into P naught B, right? Now tell me, what is the Pa? Pa equal to XA. XA we got how much? 0.4. So 0.4 into P naught A equal to how much? 450, comma Pb equal to 0.6 into it is 700. So calculate Pa, Pb, substitute here, you will get Ya and Yb respectively. That another question. The vapor pressure of chloroform and dichloromethane. The vapor pressure of chloroform and dichloromethane at 298 Kelvin or at 298 Kelvin or 200 mm, comma 450 mm respectively. 200 mm and 450 mm respectively. Find the composition, no, respectively. Calculate the mole fraction of chloroform. Calculate the mole fraction of chloroform and dichloromethane in vapor phase. In vapor phase, right? B, another question is, the vapor pressure of solution prepared by mixing. The vapor pressure of solution prepared by mixing (25.5 grams of chloroform, 25.5 grams of chloroform and 45 grams of dichloromethane. 45 grams of dichloromethane. Okay. Tell me, the vapor pressure of chloroform and dichloromethane given. Okay, so what are the vapor pressure? What are the vapor pressure of chloroform? P naught chloroform equal to 200 mm of mercury, and P naught dichloromethane CH2 Cl2 dichloromethane, it is given 450, right? 450 mm of mercury. Then what you have to calculate? Mole fraction in vapor phase. So what is the mole fraction in vapor phase? That is, we need to calculate Y chloroform and Y dichloromethane. Tell me, so how do you calculate Y chloroform? So what is the Y chloroform equal to? P chloroform divided by P chloroform plus P dichloromethane. Similarly, Y dichloromethane is equals to P chloro, no, see, Y dichloromethane equal to, yes, 1 minus Y chloroform. No, because sum of the mole fractions is always equal to 1. So calculate any one you can. Next, now we need to calculate P chloroform. So how do you calculate P chloroform? P chloroform is equals to, tell me, according to Raoult's law, X chloroform into P naught chloroform. So P naught value given, X value is not given. X value we should calculate. Then how do you calculate X value? How do you calculate X value? X chloroform equal to, tell me, N chloroform divided by N chloroform plus N dichloromethane. Okay, it means you need to calculate first number of moles of chloroform, number of moles of dichloromethane. Then how do you calculate number of moles of chloroform? It is the mass of the chloroform given, mass of the dichloromethane given. So therefore, N chloroform is equals to, tell me, what is the mass of the chloroform given? It is 25.5. So 25.5 grams divided by, what is the molecular mass of the chloroform? Carbon 12, hydrogen 1, chlorine 35.5. 119.5. Next, N dichloromethane equal to, so it is 45 grams given, no? 45 grams of the dichloromethane is given, divided by, what is the molecular mass of the dichloromethane? 1 carbon, 12 plus 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine, 71, 85. So 45 by 85, you will get number of moles here. Those number of moles substitute here, you will get X chloroform. Here is 0.2. Calculate. Okay, so therefore X chloroform equal to 0.28 and X dichloromethane equal to 0.72. Now tell me, from these two X values, chloroform, dichloromethane, what you have to calculate? We should calculate P chloroform now. So P chloroform is equals to X chloroform 0.28 into P naught chloroform. P naught chloroform is given 200. So we will get, it is mm of mercury. Next, P dichloromethane 0.72 into, and it is a 450. It is also mm of mercury. You will get, it is a partial vapor pressure of dichloromethane and chloroform. Now these values where we have to substitute? Y chloroform and Y dichloromethane. Answer is which one? Yeah, P chloroform is 56. It is 56 mm of mercury. This is 30.4 mm of mercury. Which one? This is first one is same, huh? Then substitute in this equation, you will get answer. Okay. Got it? Okay, listen once again. See, in the question, listen all of you. In question, what they have given? P naught chloroform given, P naught dichloromethane given, and they have given what? Mass of the chloroform given, mass of the dichloromethane given. We need to calculate Y1, Y2, that is mole fractions in vapor phase, as well as another question is what? That's it. A total One more is total pressure, no? So what is the total pressure of the solution? That is a P total. P total equal to Pa plus Pb, or P chloroform plus P dichloromethane. Okay. So therefore, you first calculate Y chloroform and Y dichloromethane. To calculate Y chloroform, Y dichloromethane, we have this formula. So therefore, we should calculate P chloroform and P dichloromethane. So how to calculate P chloroform? P chloroform formula is this, according to according to Raoult's law. P chloroform equal to X chloroform into P naught chloroform. P naught chloroform is given, X chloroform is not given, we have to calculate. To calculate X chloroform, again we should calculate number of moles of chloroform, number of moles of dichloromethane. That is, we have calculated, we substituted, we will got answer. Okay? Got it? So even this is a board level question also. Board level allinu ee tara questions kelbodu, kelidare. Okay? Right. One more question. 50 ml of water, of water mixed with 30 ml of ethyl alcohol. ml of water mixed with 30 ml of ethyl alcohol. The total volume of solution prepared by mixing alcohol and water is option A 80 ml, B less than 80 ml, C option A 80 ml, option B less than 80 ml, option C more than 80 ml, option D cannot be predicted. So here a solution is prepared by mixing 50 ml of ethyl alcohol, right? Ethyl alcohol is 50 ml and water is 30 ml. By mixing these two, what we supposed to get how much? 80 ml. But will you get 80 ml or less than or greater than? If it is a ideal solution, you will get equal to 80 ml. But is it example of ethyl alcohol water is a ideal solution? No, it is a non-ideal. Non-ideal solution, again two types, positive, negative deviation. It comes under which deviation? It means you have not studied. It is a positive deviation. Ethyl alcohol plus water is a best example for positive deviation. In positive deviation, delta V mixing is greater than 0. Delta V mixing greater than 0, it means the total solution must be greater than the sum of the solutions of the component. It means, so we supposed to get 80 ml, but actually we will get what actually? More than 80 ml, because it is a positive deviation from Raoult's law. Okay? Right, one more. Right, the vapor pressure of pure solvent benzene and toluene, or the vapor pressure of pure solvent benzene and toluene are 150 mm, 150 mm, 170 mm respectively. 150 mm, 170 mm of mercury respectively. What is the vapor pressure of solution What is the vapor pressure of solution prepared by benzene and toluene? Benzene and toluene. What is the vapor pressure of solution prepared by mixing benzene and toluene? Option A. Option A 320. 320. Option B greater than 320. Option C less than 320. Option D not predicted. 320. Why? Because it is a ideal solution. Benzene toluene is a ideal solution. Therefore, for ideal solution, delta P mixing is 0. No, delta P is 0. Delta P 0 means the total pressure of the solution should be equal to sum of the partial vapor pressures of the solute and solvent. So this kind of question can be expected. Okay, next slide, continuation. Azeotropic mixture. Azeotropic mixture, it is also called azeotrope or constant boiling mixture. Constant boiling mixture. So azeotropic mixture, they are also called azeotrope or constant boiling mixtures. Okay, see, let us take a binary solution which is having two volatile liquids. Okay, it is a vessel containing two volatile liquids. Okay, it is another liquid B. There are two liquid A and B. Now tell me, so there are two liquids. Liquid A undergo vaporization, you will get the vapors of the liquid. Even liquid B also undergo vaporization, it forms vapors of liquid. Okay, and vaporization as well as condensation takes place simultaneously at particular stage. Equilibrium will be attained. So these things we know. Now what are the azeotropic mixture? Azeotropic mixture is a binary solution which is having same composition in liquid state as well as in vapor state. Same composition. So what is the meaning of composition? Mole fraction. Suppose liquid A, it is a liquid B. In liquid state, the mole fraction of A, XA. Here, mole fraction of B, XB. If XA equal to 0.4, XB equal to 0.4, then here in vapor phase, YA equal to how much? It should be 0.4. And YB equals to what? It should be, YB equal to 0.6. It means a binary solution which is having same composition liquid as well as in vapor phase and boils at constant temperature. They must boil at constant temperature at specific composition, which is called a azeotropic mixture. Let me remember, azeotropic mixtures, they behave like one compound. Usually if you take two compounds, take any two compounds, so when you heat it, two compounds, one compound having like less boiling point, other compound having more boiling point, right? So on heating, which is having less boiling point, it can be evaporate first. This happens now. And after, which is having more boiling point, that can be evaporate later. So this happens when you add two liquids. But in case of azeotropic mixture, this doesn't happen. Azeotropic mixture can behave like one compound. It behave like one compound because it has constant boiling point. It means it has one boiling point. Even though there are two liquids, they do not show two boiling points. They can boil at only one particular temperature. That's what they are called what? Constant boiling mixtures. Therefore, when this is possible, there are two conditions. One, a binary solution having same composition liquid as well as vapor phase. In liquid phase as well as vapor phase, they must have same mole fraction. Right. And second condition is, so what is second condition? They have same mole fraction and they can boil at constant temperature. They must be boiled at only constant temperature. Then they are called azeotropic mixture. So therefore, definition important. Tell me what is the definition? A binary solution having same composition in both liquid and vapor phase and boils at constant temperature. They must be boiled at only one particular temperature. Constant temperature at a specific composition, not all composition, at specific composition, then they are called azeotropic mixture. Then what is the importance of azeotropic mixture? The importance of azeotropic mixture is, azeotropic mixture, even though it contain two binary liquids, it behave like one liquid. It boils at one temperature. Therefore, the components of this binary solution cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Usually, if there are two different liquids, to separate the two different liquid, we use very general common method is fractional distillation. By using fractional distillation, you can separate A and B component, usually liquid. But the components of azeotropic mixtures cannot be separated by which method? Fractional distillation. So why they cannot be separated by fractional distillation? So they cannot be separated by fractional distillation because they behave like one compound and they boils at one temperature. So they boils at one particular temperature. Therefore, even though there are two components cannot boil at two different temperature. So therefore, since they are having a constant boiling point, they cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Then there are two types of azeotropic mixtures. One, minimum boiling azeotrope. Second one is maximum boiling azeotrope. Tell me, minimum boiling azeotrope. We know that boiling point is inversely proportional to vapor pressure, right? Tell me, to get the minimum boiling azeotrope, the vapor pressure should be more or less? Vapor pressure should be more. When the vapor pressure is more, boiling point will be less. Therefore, to get minimum boiling azeotrope, the vapor pressure of the solution is more. Now, tell me, there are two types of solutions, negative deviation, positive deviation. Tell me, which kind of solution can have more vapor pressure? Positive deviation. Yes or no? The solution which show positive deviation can form the minimum boiling azeotrope. Therefore, now tell me, this is the property of what? Which type of compounds? The solution which shows large positive deviation from Raoult's law can form minimum boiling azeotrope. Can you tell me, the solution which shows large positive deviation, it means whether they have weak intermolecular force of attraction or strong intermolecular force of attraction between AB. In between AB, they have weak intermolecular force of attraction compared to A and BB. Then only large vapor pressure is possible, no? So therefore, Therefore, this is the property of molecule having weak intermolecular force of attraction between AB component compared to A and BB. Then what are the example for minimum boiling azeotrope? So you can take all example which is we have written in positive deviation, right? So the best example is ethyl alcohol plus water. That too, ethyl alcohol is 95.5% by volume, ethyl alcohol, plus remaining is 4.5% by volume H2O. At this particular composition only, it acts as a azeotropic mixture. So that too, ethyl alcohol must be 95.5% by volume, water must be 4.5% by volume. So this composition is a azeotropic mixture. And moreover, do you remember ethyl alcohol 95.5%, it is called rectified spirit. In organic chemistry we have studied, which is called rectified spirit. What is rectified spirit? 95.5% ethyl alcohol, 4.5% of what? Water. This composition is called rectified spirit. Rectified spirit cannot be further concentrated into 100% alcohol. Why? Azeotropic mixture. In the manufacture of ethyl alcohol, there are steps. Okay, you can get the 95.5% ethyl alcohol by fractional distillation. Once you get 95.5% ethyl alcohol, this 95.5% ethyl alcohol cannot be converted into 100% absolute ethyl alcohol. That is not possible. Why? Because this is a azeotropic mixture. Since it is a azeotropic mixture, if you do the fractional distillation, ethyl alcohol, water, they cannot behave as a two component. Both can behave as one component. Both can they boil at one temperature. So at one temperature both will come out, not any one. That's what. So these two cannot be separated by fractional distillation. So this is we study in ethyl alcohol topic. Okay, fine. So this composition is called what? Yeah, this particular composition is a minimum boiling azeotrope. Okay, then why this is called minimum boiling azeotrope? You need to understand what is the boiling point of water. We all know that the boiling point of water, pure water, is 373 Kelvin temperature in Kelvin. Then what is the boiling point of ethyl alcohol? It is a 351.3 Kelvin. Some book 5 given, it actually 351.3 Kelvin. Okay, 351.3 Kelvin, the boiling point of ethyl alcohol. Then now tell me, by mixing these two, what is the boiling point of these two mixture in this composition? It should be less than 373. It should be even less than 351.3. Why? It is a minimum boiling azeotrope. The meaning of minimum boiling azeotrope is this azeotropic mixture can boil at what temperature? Boil at less temperature even compared with two components, 373, 351.3. So the boiling point of this mixture is less than these two. It means the boiling point of, so this azeotropic mixture is a 351.1 Kelvin. Okay, so 351.1 is less than 373, 351.1 less than 351.3 Kelvin. So therefore this is called minimum boiling azeotrope. Okay, so here you can draw even on graph also. Let us see graph. Are you following? Okay, now let us take here on x-axis mole fraction or composition. I will take water is 0%. When water is 0%, what is ethyl alcohol? Ethyl alcohol is 100%. Okay, here, then here water is 0%, here water is obviously 100%, then ethyl alcohol is, it is 0%. Okay, now tell me, at what composition it acts as azeotropic mixture? Water is 0% here. You see what is the percentage of water? 4.5. Approximately I will take here. It is a 4.5% water. And what is the percentage ethyl alcohol? 95.5% ethyl alcohol. Okay. Then next, can you tell me what is the boiling point of pure water? 373. I will take, it is 373 Kelvin. This is the temperature on y-axis. Okay. What is the boiling point of, one second. No, here it is a pure alcohol is there, no. What is the boiling point of pure alcohol? 351.3. Okay, I will take here somewhere 351.3 Kelvin. Okay. Now next here, what is here pure water is there. What is the boiling point? 373, no, it is somewhere here. Let us take 373 Kelvin pure water, right? Now tell me, what is the boiling point of this solution? Let us take here, it is a 351.1. Okay. Now suppose the composition is, take here, fine. Okay. Now what happened here? The graph will be like this. It is a 351.3 gradually decreases to what? 351.1, and it is like this. This is vapor phase V, it is liquid phase. This is for vapor phase, it is in liquid phase. So this graph represents minimum boiling azeotrope. Do you understand? Okay, I repeat once again, listen carefully. On this, based on this, question may appear, and moreover this concept you don't study in PU level in detail. There is only definition is, one example is there. Right, azeotropic mixture, or what are azeotrope? Azeotropic mixture is, it is a binary solution. A binary solution which is having same composition, liquid and vapor phase, and boils at constant temperature at specific composition. It must be specific composition. So what is the composition of alcohol and water? It is very specific, 95.5%, 4.5%. Suppose if you change this composition, can it act as a azeotropic mixture? No. Therefore it is at a specific composition is must. Then that is called azeotropic mixture. In azeotropic mixture, it is not possible to separate the components of the azeotropic mixtures by fractional distillation, because they boils at same temperature, they cannot be separated easily by fractional distillation. There are two types of azeotropic mixture. One, minimum boiling, maximum boiling. What are the minimum boiling azeotrope? A binary solution which show large positive deviation from Raoult's law. A binary solution which shows large positive deviation from Raoult's law can form the minimum boiling azeotrope. Why large positive deviation is required? If it is a large positive deviation, there is a more vapor pressure. If there is a more vapor pressure, there is a minimum boiling point. That's what it form, minimum boiling point. Example, ethyl alcohol and water. Ethyl alcohol must be 95.5% and water must be 4.5% by volume. Only this mixture this composition can act as a azeotropic mixture. And moreover, this composition is also called rectified spirit. Rectified spirit cannot be further concentrated into 100% absolute alcohol. 100% alcohol is called absolute alcohol. So from 95.5% ethyl alcohol cannot be converted into 100% ethyl alcohol by fractional distillation. For that we add benzene. We have a separate method. we add the benzene, again we heat it to separate the water and alcohol. Okay, that is different. Then let's say, now this mixture can boils at a less temperature compared to water as well as ethyl alcohol. The boiling point of water 373, the boiling point of alcohol 351.3 Kelvin. Then what is the boiling point of this mixture? It should be less than these two. Less than 373, less than 351.3. It is 351.1 Kelvin. So that is we have drawn graph. How? See here, water we have taken 0 here, water 100%, ethyl alcohol 100, ethyl alcohol 0. Since ethyl alcohol is 100%, its temperature, boiling point, somewhere ethyl alcohol is here, no, taken here. Next, what is the boiling point of water? 373. Then at this particular composition, 4.5 water, 95.5 alcohol, this composition, it boils at this temperature, no? Okay. So therefore, then the boiling point of alcohol is more, boiling point of water is more. Okay. When these two added, its boiling point is decreases. Therefore, graph come down. Again graph, it is also come down. This is down, it is also down. So we will get two graph. One is a vapor phase, other is liquid phase. Vapor phase more than, of course, liquid phase. That is we know. Okay. It is a minimum boiling azeotrope. Read. Maximum boiling azeotrope. Tell me, it is quite opposite to minimum boiling azeotrope. So what are maximum boiling azeotrope? Maximum boiling azeotrope is the binary solution which shows large negative deviation from Raoult's law can form maximum boiling azeotrope. So because see, the solution which shows large negative deviation, it means their vapor pressure will be less. The vapor pressure of the solution will be less. When the vapor pressure of the solution is less, boiling point is more. That means they form maximum boiling. So remember like this. To get the maximum boiling, we should have less vapor pressure. Where the less vapor pressure is possible, negative deviation. So therefore, the binary solution which shows large negative deviation from Raoult's law can form maximum boiling azeotrope. Okay. Then example. So for example, you can take all example which is we have written for negative deviation. But here one example, particular composition, HNO3 plus water. HNO3, it is a 68% by mass, not volume, by mass. And remaining is 32% water by mass, can act as a maximum boiling azeotrope. Do you know what is the meaning of maximum boiling azeotrope? The meaning of maximum boiling azeotrope is the azeotropic mixture has more boiling point compared to individual component. Yes or no? Now for example, HNO3, H2O. This mixture has more boiling point. The boiling point of this mixture is how much? 393.5 Kelvin, which is greater than the boiling point of HNO3 and boiling point of water. So the boiling point of HNO3 is 359. The boiling point of water 373. Therefore, when you compare it with these two, this boiling point will be more. Boiling point ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎರಡು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. Right. The boiling point of this azeotropic mixture is increases by adding these two compositions, particular composition. Okay. Then let us see what is the graphical representation. It is similarly, tell me, let us take here is H2O, it 0%, right, and HNO3, what is the percentage? 100 by mass. If it is a water is 0%, what is the water here? Water is 100%. Then what is HNO3? It is 0% here. Okay. Now tell me, what is the here HNO3? The boiling point of what HNO3 is how much? 359. Somewhere let us take here 359 Kelvin. What is the boiling point of water? It is more than 359, no, 373. Let us take somewhere here 373 Kelvin. Okay. Now tell me, at what composition they act as a azeotropic mixture? Water should be 32. It is 68. No. Water is 32 means if you take middle, it is a 50% water. That means don't take middle, approximately you take here or somewhere. Okay, you can. Let us say here. Oh, fine. So here, tell me, the composition of water is how much here? What is the composition of HNO3? 68%. Fine. Which is boils at what temperature? It is more than water as well as HNO3. 393.5. So 393 means somewhere it's more than this also, right? If it is a 373, you can take somewhere here. Okay, what is this? 393.5. No, okay, 393.5 Kelvin. Okay, then composition is here, no? So therefore, if you take this somewhere here, yes or no? Now tell me, it is a 359. 359 increase or decrease? Increases. Now 373, it is also increases. It means both the temperatures are increases. So here to here is like this. Now here to here also, it is in vapor phase, liquid phase, vapor phase, liquid phase. That's it. Okay, ready. Minimum boiling maximum boiling azeotrope. The solutions which shows large negative deviation from Raoult's law. The solutions which shows large negative deviation from Raoult's law can form large negative deviation from Raoult's law can form maximum boiling azeotrope. Can form maximum boiling azeotrope. Example, take this, take as this. Take the diagram also. Minimum boiling azeotrope, positive deviation from Raoult's law. Maximum boiling azeotrope, negative deviation from Raoult's law. Next, right? Colligative properties of dilute solutions. Colligative properties of dilute solutions. Okay, so what are the colligative properties and their importance we will study. First, let's see what are the colligative properties. Tell me anybody, what are the colligative properties? Yes, the properties which are depends on number of solute particles or concentration of solute particle, but not the nature of solvent, of course nature of solute, called colligative properties. So remember, colligative properties only depends on the number of solute particle or concentration of solute particle. So therefore, write down the properties which are depends on number of solute particles over or concentration of solute particles, but not nature of solvent. Right, irrespective nature of the solvent, these colligative properties are depends on only number of solute particle. As the number of solute particle changes, colligative properties will change. Okay, therefore then they are called what? Colligative properties. Next point, then colligative properties, it is applicable for only dilute solution. That's what I have written here, dilute solution. So therefore colligative properties not applicable for concentrated solution. So next point, colligative properties are applicable for only dilute solutions. So we have studied what is the meaning of dilute solution. The solution in which concentration of solute is very less. If the concentration of solute is very less, that is a dilute. Okay, so therefore colligative properties are applicable for only dilute solution. Next, these colligative properties are the they are the properties of ideal solutions, right? So next, these are the properties of ideal solutions. Next point is, see, all colligative properties inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. All the colligative properties are inversely proportional to molar mass of solute. Next, colligative properties are also directly proportional to particle concentration. So we have studied last class what is the particle concentration. As the particle concentration of that is solute, of course we study about solute only. As the particle concentration of solute is increases, colligative properties are increases, right? So therefore, now tell me what are the colligative property we are going to study. One, take fast. One, RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Two, elevation in boiling point delta TB. 3, depression in freezing point. 4, osmotic pressure. RLV, relative lowering of vapor pressure. So already we have studied, once again we study here. Next, elevation in boiling point delta TB, depression in freezing point delta TF, and osmotic pressure. So we'll study one by one all these colligative property, their applications and all. Next, what are the applications of general application of all the colligative property? By using colligative properties, it is possible to calculate very accurate molar mass of the solute. By using all the colligative properties, we can calculate the accurate molar mass of the solute. This is a common application, right? So from the colligative properties, it is possible to calculate, from the colligative properties, it is possible to calculate accurate molar mass of solute. Accurate molar mass of the solute can be calculated.